Shalom. This is day 3 of our hair journey, and I am going to be showing you how I do my finger coils on clean hair. This is my hair straight out of the bonnet. My hair is 3 days clean, and these are the products that I'm going to be using: the gel and the cancer repair cream. And I'm also going to be adding this serum into my hair, and I'm going to make sure I really work it into my parting. Now, here I am spraying my hair to reactivate the product that's already in there to eliminate buildup.
I need a spice girl. Ziggy ziggy, I mess up my whole world. Posh when she talk.
Now I'm going to be combing out my hair. As you will be able to tell later on in the video, I'm combing from the end up to the roots to make sure that I prevent as much breakage as possible. Whenever combing out your hair in its natural state, it is always best to comb out from the bottom up to the roots. And I would recommend using a white tooth comb, but this time I'm using a smaller tooth comb to make sure that all of my hair is combed out and that my fingers can run through my hair as smoothly as possible.
She talk nothing like oh girl. Scary and sporty. Tell her what I want, what I really, really want is a spice girl. That little mama says she on a diet, so she only even honest. Always in your vibe, other women don't align. And when I'm off work, you know that it is time, so let's go. Let's hit the I-5, get away from BS, don't waste no downtime. I don't ever like a bougie, that's the type that wanna sue me. And when we get together, hit it like fever.
Please excuse any silly expression that I have throughout this whole video. I was concentrating so hard. But as you can see, I'm combing and parting through these sections, and I'm making sure that I put the serum in the sections because this second time I'm focusing on moisture. I will say that I think I like the first time better than the second time. I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things. But the first time my sections were much bigger, but they lasted longer. And this time my sections are smaller, but they stayed neat. They had a more crisp look. So then I'm adding oil and water as I go. The more you do this, the more you see best fit to what to add and when. Then I'm taking a generous amount of Cantu and I'm putting it evenly throughout my hair. This is very important. You want to put a cream-based product in your hair because you don't want to strip your hair, and you want to make sure that your curls are reactivated as much as possible. This helps seal the coil. So if it's not bouncing like this, then sis, you did something wrong. You need to make sure that you evenly distribute it, and that will create the longevity that you are looking for. Then I start to section it and part it, and I just begin to coil. As I coil this, it's sort of what looks like a preparation for dreadlocks, but that's just depending on the type of hair texture that you have. It comes out, the coils come out differently. I don't have a recommended direction of coiling. What I do is just coil in the direction that's most convenient. So if I need to coil in a different direction when I'm on the right side of my head, then I do so. Or maybe the back of my head would be coiled in the different direction than the top of my head. It's just really based off of the comfort of you. So as you've seen, I was adding the Eco Styler. I didn't add it in the first few coils because I didn't need as much tightness there. But then as I kept on coiling, I noticed that I needed it to be tighter to make sure I provide that longevity. And when you are coiling your hair, you will see what you need to add, whether it's more water, more oil, or more cream, or more gel. But since I said that I was using the gel as an accent, I didn't distribute it as much or like I did with the curling cream because I don't need my hair to be brittle and dry. You want your hair to be have longevity, but you don't want it to be stiff either because of the gel buildup. So over time, your coils will begin to loosen up, but it is important to realize that your hair texture is different, so it's going to react to the coils differently. I have about 3 different hair textures within my hair patterns within my hair. So the back of my hair may coil differently than the top of my hair or than the right side of my hair. But this is what it looks like as a close-up, all coiled. It's tighter at the roots and then it's more springy in the ends. And then over time, I will go in and recoil one of them if it's too loose or if it's not laying it in the direction that I want it to. So there's many ways to coil your hair. I know sometimes I have seen that people just grab hair and go. That's one way to do it, or you can do sections. I did sections just because my hair textures are different and I want to make sure this is neat as possible and it lasts as long as possible. So this is why I did the sections, to make sure that I add oil and to make sure that it's neat and to make sure that they're laying in a suitable direction and that it won't look all crazy. And over time, when you refresh these curls, all you have to do is spray water on them and don't comb it all the way through, but kind of pick it out from the roots, and then it'll just change over time. So here you see me parting it again and wetting it. And this is what I'm talking about when I comb the bottom first to the roots. It can just slide right through. I say that I have different textures because the back of my head, well, the very, very back of my head, it's more of a loose curl pattern, but it's still very kinky. And then once I get to the middle of my head, it is more like 3 type hair. It's not as kinky and the curls are looser, but then once it dries, the curls are as tight as the rest of my head. But that's why I say that I have different textures. The type of pattern my hair has is 3C4A, but the texture is really kinky. I will say, I can say that it mimic type 3 as well. So with that being said, your hair coils may not turn out the same, but over time, like maybe day 3, after it has loosened up and you have reactivated, our curls may end up looking the same.
Forever. So let's go. Is this real or fake? Do I have a chance or am I paving ways? Trying to find a reason not to say your name. Like you, there's no look-alikes. I need a spice girl. Zigga zigga, I mess up my whole world. Posh when she talk, nothing like oh girl. Scary and sporty. Tell her what I want, what I really.
This process took me about, I want to say 2 hours because I stopped a lot. And because I was focusing on parting. Now, if, like I said, if you're just pulling pieces of hair and coiling, like coiling as you go, it may not take you that long. And also my hair is extremely thick and I wanted to make sure that I moisturized it all evenly for longevity. So 2 hours give or take. It may take you only 30 minutes if you have enough moisture in your hair, or if you skipped a couple of steps and you didn't part, then that's totally fine. Most of the time, it takes me a pretty long time to take care of my natural hair because it is thicker, and I want to make sure that it's neat. So like even if I'm just doing twist outs, if you know if you're doing a really good job, it may take you a long time. But since I'm still experimenting with my hair, it's gonna take me longer because I'm not sure how my hair will react to some things, even products. So really, it depends on your hair journey. So here I'm just showing you a close up. Since I'm higher, how I'm coiling my hair. I take a section, and all of my sections may not be the same size, but I take the section Girl, if I can get it. Come on now. Okay, give me a minute, y'all. This is slow-mo. Okay. I take this section and then I coil it. Um, I usually coil forward, close to the scalp, if not on top, in most of my coils, and I coil it maybe 5 times or more to make sure it's tighter. Sometimes it can be coiled like 2 times, sometimes one, like they just coil it real quick just one time. But like I said, that's, I think, um more common if you are doing looser coils and if you are just coiling and going. But this is how it's looking. Very, very moisturized, very springy. The parting is not perfect, but I have a lot more sections in my hair, so it doesn't look really empty. So here I am showing you how I start to part in the front. I just keep parting in a U shape all the way around, as you can see now, and then I'm just going to keep coiling that way. And then you're going to see me from there part straight across. No more U sections. Once I get to the top, I'm just parting straight across, and then I'm going to start coiling that. I usually part it in 2 sections like I am now. The first one in the front and then the back, and then I part that section into smaller sections. Here, I'm just showing you what my curl pattern does while it's wet. It's really loose right now. Um, but then once, like I said, it dries, it's gonna curl up. Not even when I do the finger quills, but just in general when my hair dries, it just curls up like it was never loose from the beginning. But I start coiling the front, and then I coil up from there, and then I do the back section. But when you seen that I only had like 3 finger coils on the very first row, that's so that they lay down okay. And because when I said that those curls are really, really loose, they're really, really loose. So I added a little bit more gel there, but that's how I do it until I am done. Keep coiling and coiling and coiling until I get to my last one. I shake, 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 shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, to make it a little bit more loose. And this is the time for correcting if some of them are off. By this time, the gel is making it dry up some more, so it's not as loose as it was. But some of them are still pretty loose, especially the part that I was just fixing. And if your hair isn't healthy, it won't come close to this. This is it. This is how it looks when it's done. For sleep time, I sleep pretty. For 2 to 3 days, I have my bonnet on. I just put it on and just lay. And that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share and tell everyone you know. Have a great day.